But the only point I think I'll just say right now is that whatever it is, it has to be a consolidated Muslim community effort, like us together as a community.
No, I'm not worried at all. I rely on God, Allah.
Canada has a mix of, educated people who come from, I guess, more like middle class backgrounds from even their countries of origin, where they already understood Islam as one that's naturally sort of politically engaged, right? That we as a community have to become politically engaged. I was just going to actually bring up the UK as an example, because I think in a way, if someone comes and is like, look, just stay out of politics, I'll be honest with you. I mean, those people are probably already set in different ways. You know what I mean? Like,
I get what
someone who's already saying that, they're saying that they can be coming from different perspectives, right? They can be coming from like a very like sort of neo-traditionalist perspective that some have been talking about, where it's like, look, we just have to be obedient. Don't rock any boats. We're visitors here. Yeah. Now, again, you and I, or at least myself, I have huge points of contention with that, right? Because you're really, really not reading the political climate very well. Things are getting worse, and we have to do something.
Yes.
Now, if anyone already comes to agreement that we have to engage politically, I think the UK becomes a good example where there's no lack of of organizations and people who are trying to become politically engaged. And that's where you enter in a whole range of other discussions like, should we as Muslims throw our eggs in like every party basket, so to speak? You have Muslims engaging with conservatives, you have Muslims engaging with like, liberal Democrats, etc. You basically have everyone, so like a who's who of just like people like, okay, I just want to join this party now and see what I can do, But the only point I think I'll just say right now is that whatever it is, it has to be a consolidated Muslim community effort, like us together as a community. I think that's the strength. The strength of any movement really comes in solidarity. And this isn't something that's not a controversial thing to say. I mean, even people like Noam Chomsky or other people have written and spoken about this. It's about us being together and recognizing, okay, we're going to do something together, right? Like as a community, we're going to sort of mobilize on a particular issue, or with a political party, whatever it might be. My only point that I want to say right now, at least just in terms of this discussion, is that I have a big problem eventually with what happens which is that Muslims are taking it's a very modern way of sort of experiencing politics, is that, okay, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to become politically engaged on my own. I'm going to go join that party on my own or do this on my own. You know what I mean? Or like somehow, whatever, like I'm going to vote my way, come voting time, rather as like, okay, I'm voting as part of a collective. And how do we understand that as being part of a community, being part of a collective that's, that's working towards all our interests combined? I think that's something that becomes a lot more challenging. But again, I can think of people who could talk about this a little bit more, but anyone listening in, if you want to become politically engaged, I mean, you got to get with a crew, you got to get with a community. There's a lot of Muslim organizations in Canada. Don't just do it on your own, become something greater than yourself, and see what the history is, and, read on what the mistakes were, and that's how we're going to move forward.
Do I feel that the New York police are providing enough protection, or do I have to have protection of my own? I look for protection from Allah.